Hello, welcome to Wonder Garden channel. Today I will show you how to propagate these small Christmas cactus cuttings so that they gradually develop into healthy, lush plants and produce beautiful flowers. The special thing is that I will only use familiar organic ingredients that are easy to find at home to support the cuttings during the recovery and development process. By following the correct steps and being patient with the care, from just a few small cuttings at the beginning, you can create more new Christmas cactus plants for your garden. If you also love this beautiful plant, watch until the end of the video to follow the entire process with me. And first, don't forget to subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel so you don't miss any useful plant care and propagation tips in the upcoming videos. When you want to propagate a Christmas cactus, the first thing you need to prepare is healthy cuttings like these. Choose cuttings that are neither too old nor too young, with green plump segments and no signs of pests, disease, or soft rot. Cuttings at this stage usually have good vitality, lose less water, and can adapt better during the propagation process. Next, I will prepare about 500 milliliters of clean water. Then add half a teaspoon of baking soda and stir thoroughly until it completely dissolves. Now, I will use a piece of soft cotton soaked lightly in the solution. Then gently wipe each Christmas cactus cutting from top to bottom. Gently wipe both sides of each plant segment to remove dirt and clean the surface of the cuttings before we begin the propagation process. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. To propagate these Christmas cactus cuttings, first I will perform the cutting propagation and step to stimulate the formation of new roots. I will prepare a transparent plastic container, like this, then place a moderate amount of moist moss at the bottom of the container. Moss has good moisture-retaining properties, helping maintain a stable, humid environment around the base of the cuttings and creating favorable conditions for the cuttings to develop new roots. Next, for each Christmas cactus cutting, I will use a layer of thin tissue paper and gently wrap it around the base of the cutting. I fold the tissue paper and gently wrap it around each cutting. I will do this one cutting at a time until all 5 cuttings are wrapped in tissue paper. Christmas cactus is very easy to propagate. As long as sufficient moisture is maintained, the cuttings will quickly develop roots. This layer of tissue paper will absorb and retain a moderate amount of water from the moss underneath, helping maintain moisture directly around the area where roots need to develop without having to soak the cuttings in water. The important thing is to maintain sufficient moisture, because excessive moisture can cause the cuttings to become waterlogged and rot. If this video helps you better understand how to properly care for your plants, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss upcoming videos. If you're having any difficulties while taking care of your plants, Feel free to share your plant's condition in the comments so we can find the right solution together. Then, gently place the cuttings into the plastic container with the prepared moss, arranging them upright and making sure they are not overcrowded. Proper arrangement ensures that the cuttings have enough space to make even contact with the moist moss, thereby maintaining stable moisture around the base and supporting the formation of new roots more effectively. Now, I will lightly mist the cuttings to add moisture. The tissue paper and moss underneath will absorb water and maintain moisture around the base of the cuttings, creating a stable, humid environment to support root formation. However, you only need to maintain light moisture and should not allow the moss and tissue paper to become waterlogged because excessive moisture can cause the base of the cuttings to rot. Finally, cover the plant container with a plastic bag and place it in a cool, well-ventilated location away from direct sunlight. Pay attention to maintaining consistent moisture to help the cuttings develop roots more quickly. After 7 days. After 7 days of propagation, now let's check the results together. You can see that at the base of the Christmas cactus cuttings, many small white roots have begun to appear. Isn't that amazing? This shows that the cuttings have begun to adapt well to the new environment, while also activating the process of tissue regeneration and root formation to support their own growth. In addition, the uniform appearance of new roots also indicates that the cut surfaces have stabilized well and have not been exposed to excessive moisture during the initial propagation stage. Once the cuttings have developed roots like this, I will prepare another solution to support the plants before planting them into a pot. First, prepare one small aloe vera leaf, cut it into pieces, and place them into a clean blender. Aloe vera contains a lot of water, along with some organic compounds, helping create a gentle environment and supporting the plant tissue and maintaining stable moisture during the treatment process. Cutting the aloe vera into small pieces increases the surface area, allowing the nutrients to be released more easily during blending and mixed into the solution. In addition, cutting the aloe vera into smaller pieces helps break down the gel structure inside, making the blending process faster and smoother while reducing the amount of fibrous or lumpy residue in the final solution. Next, I will add 1 vitamin B1 tablet. Vitamin B1 is commonly used by plant growers during the stage when plants have just developed roots or have been transplanted. Add about 500 milliliters of clean water. Cover the blender and blend thoroughly. Thorough blending helps completely break down the structure of the aloe vera, allowing the nutrients and gel to mix more evenly into the water. In addition, blending the mixture until smooth makes it more consistent and uniform, making it easier to use in the following steps without separating into different layers. Then, filter carefully to remove all the solid residue, keeping only the liquid. Filtering helps completely remove the fibers and coarse residue, making the solution smoother and cleaner when used on the plant. In addition, the filtered solution is more stable and easier to absorb into plant tissues, while reducing the risk of clogging when spraying or soaking. Now, I will place the base and the young roots into the solution for about 5 minutes. Soak the entire cuttings and their young roots, allowing them enough time to come into even contact with the solution. This helps soothe the plant tissues and creates favorable conditions for the cuttings to adapt during the initial stage. At the same time, handle them very gently because the new roots are still very young and delicate and need to be protected as much as possible to prevent them from breaking or suffering tissue damage. Now, I will take this opportunity to prepare the growing medium for planting the cuttings. Today, I am using a mixture of potting soil and coconut coir at a ratio of 50% potting soil to 50% coconut coir. The potting soil helps retain a certain amount of moisture and nutrients, while the coconut coir makes the mixture lighter, looser, and more well aerated, creating favorable conditions for the young roots to continue developing. I will mix the two ingredients thoroughly so that they are evenly distributed throughout the mixture. Mixing the two ingredients thoroughly helps the soil and coconut coir blend evenly, ensuring that each part of the growing medium has a good balance between moisture retention and aeration, preventing some areas from becoming too wet while others remain too dry. Christmas cactus prefers a growing medium that is well aerated and well draining, while still maintaining moderate moisture. After about 5 minutes, I will gently remove the Christmas cactus cuttings from the solution and begin planting them. First, place a layer of the prepared growing medium at the bottom of the pot. If you're enjoying these plant care tips, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more simple, effective gardening advice. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Next, gently place the rooted cuttings in the center of the pot, arranging them into a balanced cluster, so that as they grow, the plant will develop a fuller and more attractive shape. Then, gradually add more growing medium around the base. During this process, you can use your fingers to press very gently, so that the growing medium comes into contact with the roots and helps the cuttings remain upright. Do not compact the soil too tightly because the new roots are still very young and easily damaged. A loose growing medium will allow the roots to spread out and continue developing more easily. After a few days, when the plant has begun to stabilize, I will spray a moderate amount of water onto the surface of the growing medium to maintain the necessary moisture. Then, continue placing the pot in a well-ventilated location with indirect light and avoid harsh direct sunlight. Keep the growing medium moderately moist and do not allow it to become waterlogged because the young roots are still quite sensitive. And here is the result after 4 months. From just a few small cuttings at the beginning, the plant has now developed into a lush cluster with many new branches and continuously emerging young shoots. This shows that the plant has adapted well to the new growing medium, the root system has developed healthily, and the plant is gradually maturing. With continued proper care, once the plant has accumulated enough nutrients and encounters suitable conditions, small flower buds will gradually appear at the tips of the branches, and soon you will have a Christmas cactus covered in beautiful, vibrant flowers. If you also want to propagate Christmas cactus, try this method and be patient as you wait for the results. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel.